welcome to Cross Transformation. It's Mariam here, and today I'm gonna be talking to you about realizing your life purpose by healing your attachment trauma. You see, it is very important to identify our attachment soul. If it's insecure, we must do the healing work. Otherwise, we are going to experience life through that ruptured connection with our primary caregiver, through that broken attachment, because that's all we know. That's the blueprint sitting there. When we don't do the healing work, that ruptured connection, that broken attachment is going to manifest itself as the false self. So we are going to experience life through that false self. The false self is all about projection, victimhood, and all of those coping and defense mechanisms. So we really want to do the healing work in order to arrive at our true self within, because through our true self, we can realize our life purpose, realization, our true self, the place of empowerment. To begin with, let's talk about the attachment trauma, what it is. It is a rupture in the process of bonding between the child and the primary caregiver. Maybe that primary caregiver was challenged with mental health problems. Maybe they were unavailable. Maybe they were unresponsive. Maybe something else. Maybe there was domestic violence going on. All of those can result in experiencing that attachment trauma, that ruptured connection. In my situation, my mom had borderline personality disorder, narcissistic traits. My dad wasn't available. There was domestic violence, full on. There was so much going on. So I ended up experiencing life through that attachment trauma, ruptured connection. That was my blueprint. And my experience back in time was victimhood, was unhealthy, toxic relationships. I had, many different coping and defense mechanisms going on. I literally couldn't experience life as it was, as it is, until I did the healing work. So today I want to talk about low self-esteem, the fear of abandonment, and not being emotionally available, having detached yourself emotionally. Low self-esteem and the fear of abandonment are applicable to those with an anxious attachment style. And being emotionally unavailable is applicable to those with an avoidant attachment style. So let's look into these and find out how we can transform and how we can arrive at our life purpose. So let's go. Low self-esteem, right? That low self-esteem can be the manifestation of projection. Remember, with that attachment trauma comes projection. And that projection, we may experience it by having a low self-esteem. That projection manifested itself because of the way that primary caregiver treated us. Maybe they couldn't heal their own lovelessness, they projected onto us, and we thought, ooh, I must be the one who is unlovable. So we literally absorbed it, we became it, and now we are struggling with low self-esteem, right? So in order to realize our purpose, we must do the healing work and come out of projection, come out of relating ourselves to what they projected onto us, because deep down, that low self-esteem that we may struggle with would have its roots in that projection. Also, low self-esteem can be caused by trauma when it kept happening in a repeated fashion. For example, you were neglected frequently, or you were abused frequently, and you thought, well, it's my fault that I am being treated like this. So we ended up taking that trauma on board and made it about ourselves. That abuse, that neglect, we thought, ooh, there's something wrong with me. So as I said, we made it about ourselves, and we ended up struggling with low self-esteem. So we really want to embrace this truth that the way that they treated you had nothing to do with who you are. They couldn't be emotionally available, they couldn't be responsive, they didn't know how to treat you kindly the way that you deserved it. So just understand that the way that they were had nothing to do with you. Don't condition yourself to their way of being and doing. Instead, realize who you are in the image of God so you can receive your purpose. Because by feeling neglected, by having your confidence, your image attached to those earlier traumas, that neglect, you're only going to hold back from the realization of your life purpose. Life purpose up here, low self-esteem down here. So we need to come out of those attachments. The way they treated you has got nothing to do with who you are here and your beautiful image. Moving toward your life purpose, you want to have your self-image free from those earlier traumas and the way they responded to you or the way they treated you. The next one, the fear of abandonment. That fear of abandonment had to do with them not being available, right? And now you're struggling with not knowing who you are because part of you is so afraid of being abandoned, but they couldn't be there for you. As I said, it's like that neglect. It is the fact that they couldn't respond to you. But as long as you're making it about you, you're experiencing that fear of abandonment, you're not going to realize your purpose, because your purpose is to be centered in Christ, to be centered in God, to be centered in the present moment. And your purpose has got nothing to do with that abandonment. And keep worrying that somehow somebody else is going to leave you, to abandon you, that anxiety inside you. We really want to understand what happened in the past cannot identify you here and now, and we really want to learn to not perceive the present reality through that abandonment fear sitting there. Again, that is the attachment trauma, and our life purpose cannot be realized through that attachment trauma because it is the false self experiencing the present reality. So low self-esteem and the fear of abandonment, the false self, we need to surrender to the cross, to Jesus. And that happens as we arrive at realization. It's a powerful word, realization, right? Realization is aligned with who you are in God. And lastly, being emotionally unavailable. If you're an avoidant, right? We really want to get in touch with our emotions, because our only journey is our return to love, the truth of love. And to do that, we must get in touch with our feelings and emotions to realize where we are standing emotionally, because our journey is to come back to love, not to blame other people, not to feel guilty, not to feel resentful, right? Your life purpose is in alignment with the truth of love, that unconditional love that is streaming through you, in you. It's beautiful. Not being emotionally available is actually a defense mechanism, right? The false self is perceiving the reality. Your true self is in alignment with the truth of love, and it has got access to your purpose. So let that go. Open up. Allow yourself to experience your emotions, to feel safe, to experience them, to establish trust within yourself, to feel safe from within. You see, your life purpose is waiting for you. It is calling you. It's God telling you that there is so much more for you. There is so much available to you. So come out of those defense mechanisms, coping mechanisms. Stop telling yourself that I've got issues with my confidence and, self-esteem. No, you don't. You're only experiencing the state of projection, having conditioned yourself to those traumas. Allow yourself to trust yourself, to feel safe. Let go of that abandonment fear, because that abandonment fear cannot define who you are here and now. It is the false self. We need to perceive the reality through different lenses. The lenses that are in alignment with your truth, the love that you are. So give yourself the opportunity to heal, to understand your attachment style, to do the healing work, to come out of that trauma, to come out of that blueprint, to come out of identifying yourself through the false self. Arrive at your true self. Life is beautiful. You have got what it takes. You can do it. You're a blessed child of God. Hopefully, you'll find this video helpful. May you be at peace. Look after your precious soul. And this is Queensland, Australia. Take care of yourself. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.